Gotta stop talking to myself. The Psychic Gallery on the first Monday of every month, 7:30 p.m. here in Boca Raton. De-stress, connect with intuitive abilities, laugh, learn about psychic phenomena, and get psychic messages? Psychic messages? Woo! Where's the price? Here it is. Only $25 at the door? Awesome! How do I sign up? Oh, easy. Go to HalleyElise.com. Nice. $5 off online? Oh, I've got to call the girls and tell them about the Psychic Gallery on the first Monday of the month. Great time. 7:30 p.m. Perfect. Have to remember HalleyElise.com for the Psychic Gallery.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Halley Elise Show, featuring your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise. She is an author, psychic, and media personality, and has been listed as one of the top 100 psychics in America. Empowerment psychic Halley Elise shares the spiritual, metaphysical, holistic, and magical powers of the universe. Follow Halley on her website at HalleyElise.com, and all her shows can be seen via live stream video. Now, here's your host, empowerment psychic Halley Elise.
Good evening, everyone. So glad you could join us tonight. Tonight is the third Monday of the month, which we use as Psychic Monday. And I have to say, I've been a little remiss. For some reason, the past month or so, I've been a little off kilter as far as which week is which. So I figured, make sure I cover everything this evening. And I put out a lot of information on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, to make sure everyone knew this was the evening to call in. So if you want to call in for Psychic Read, you want to dial 888-565-1471. And that's at the station WNN. Now, if you are listening at your computer, but you have to leave, remember we are on iHeartRadio. So you can go to iHeartRadio on your telephone, and it is WNN. And also, just in case you didn't know, our web feed, our web TV, is on my website as well. It is on www.nnradio.com. So it's at the station, it's where I am, it's all over the place, so it should make it easy. And I do want to remind everybody, the first Monday of the month, it's like Super Monday, ta-da! You have the Psychic Gallery over at my place, where you can come in and connect in person. As well, we have a pre-recorded show on. We usually do like the week before on that first Monday of the month. So keep that in mind if you want to join us. Tickets are reasonable. And if you go to the website beforehand, HalleyElise.com, you will find that you get a discount. So that's kind of nice. All right. We already have a couple of callers. I was going to say callers. Can you think and hear that I'm from New York originally? But we do. We have a couple of callers already on the line. So I think the first caller was Amy. Is Amy still there? Hello? Amy, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. How are you this evening?
I'm okay. How are you? This is my first time calling in, so I appreciate you taking my call.
Absolutely. And you're from California, was that correct?
Yes, Los Angeles.
Okay, yeah, it was cute. Earlier, the producer called me like an hour ago and said people were calling in. I said, I wonder if they know it's Eastern time, because, there's that whole time zone thing. So is there a specific question that you had in mind, Amy, or do you want to just have me give you whatever pops in for you?
Well, probably a little bit of both, but I will say that overall I'm in a very difficult time, and it feels like all these pockets in my life are stuck or blocked somehow. And I know this may sound unusual, but I almost feel like it's something like outside of me, do with family or ancestry. I don't know what it is, but I honestly feel like it's nothing that I'm doing, and I wondered if you'd either confirm or deny that, or help me.
Okay. Well, I actually had two things going on here. One of the things that we tend to not realize is oftentimes something comes into our life and we think, well, I didn't do it. I wouldn't call that in. I wouldn't ask for that. I'm a good person. Why is that happening? And it has nothing to do with the present. A lot of times it has to do with something from years ago. When we tend to go, let's say, into a funk, or we're angry, or we are even, I'll say, disappointed, it holds a particular energy within our body. Our physical body holds an energy, and like attracts like. So even if you're doing a lot of really good things now, you still have that old energy unless it's been dispersed. So I get things being twofold. One, some old stuff, and I would say this to me is over 15 years old, between 15 and 20. And I would go and revisit that a little bit, take a look at your life at that point, and sit down and literally write out what it is that you feel you can forgive that in the past you were not able to, because that will free up that energy for you. That's number one. The other thing, as far as your family, it is not so much, if you will, genetics, like in other words, well, it's your mother, your father, that type of thing. It has to do with further back. So there is
that's what I mean, like ancestry stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, there is a component here. I would trace it back to, from the way this feels, not grandma, not great-grandma, great-great-grandma. So I would actually take a look a little bit at your history on your, just trying to see if this is maternal, paternal, I'm leaning towards paternal side. As best as you can, track down what was going in that time frame. In the same thing that I mentioned a moment ago, sit down and write out what can you forgive. So for instance, you can say, even though this happened to family members and it was a terrible thing, I'm choosing to forgive it now, so that you start to transmute that energy within yourself. The other thing here too is get very cognizant of what you do want versus what you don't want. So much of what happens in our world does so to show us how to let go and also how to embrace what we want. But we get caught up in that muck, and it's hard to see anything else. Literally, if you're starving, you're not thinking about having a full belly. You're thinking about, where's that next meal coming from? So what I'm suggesting is you get a little bit more clear with yourself. Like I said, I always suggest writing down, because we take it out of our head where it snowballs and we're actually able to see more clearly. But start to, if you will work that process for yourself, you'll notice that things start to free up. The other thing here is get a separate list and write down, if everything in my world was perfect, what would that look like? And write it down. I'd be really comfortable in a relationship. I wouldn't have to worry about the type of job I'm working at. Instead, I would be doing A, B, and C. Like, write down those specifics. I can tell you also, we're in 2015. I'm going to say by 2017, you have somebody coming into your life who's going to be very helpful to you. I feel like they come in as a friend and end up as, if you will, a mentor or a partner. So just know that you do have somebody pretty amazing coming in the door to be by your side, to assist you, but to get them here or to expedite their appearance in your world, you have to do a little internal work first. All right, then?
Oh, my gosh, Haley, I've done so much internal work and vision boards and journaling.
Right, but
2017 is when this person
between, and the reason I say between is because my timing is very funny. I'll give you an example. I told a client something about, within 3 months, and they called and said, hey, it was only 2 months. But other times I'll have, if you will, a feeling for time, and I'll say, let's say June 22nd, and the person will call and say, well, it was exactly June 22nd, but it was the following year. So I've learned how to get a feel more for the time frame than the exact time. So this is why I'm saying between now and 2017. But you do have somebody lovely coming into your world. And even though you've done some work, try doing it at a different level, because I don't feel that you've been able to take a look and say, if everything was lovely, what would that look like? I feel like you've had expectation and you've had desire, but you haven't actually gotten that, if you will, essence of it really steeped within yourself. And so take a look at that. All right?
Okay.
Thanks so much for calling in. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much for your insight. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Bye-bye. Now, I believe we had Simone on the line.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? One of my favorite people calling in, guys, just so that you know. So how's the weather by you?
It's nice. It's California.
Good. It's funny about people in California, but I think you girls are in separate places. And I saw that message about what you're doing. You want to share with everyone about, was it the Prime Minister of Austria or some bigwig that you're connecting with?
Oh yeah, I'm doing the chapter chair for the Austrian scientists in North America for the Bay Area. And so next week there will be the Austrian Minister of the Exterior visiting. And
The
so,
minister.
I'll be
That is so
part of
exciting.
that and so on. So I'll also have lunch with Nobel Prize laureate. So all of these things are really crazy this week, so I thought I'd have to share.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. You're getting to what's really funny. If you think about this, go back like 5 years. I think it's about that long we know each other, isn't it? 4 or 5 years?
Something like that.
Something
yeah,
like
maybe.
that, right? And I'm just thinking about how you had so much trepidation about where you were going. And
Yeah.
if you take a look, we talked about the fact that you are going to excel at everything. And you're like, no, I don't know. Take a look where you are right now. It's amazing. Truly, it's amazing. You should be very proud of yourself. And okay, so that brings me to what's going on in your world in this moment. And I already told you what the expectation is there. You need to know, and just in case this individual is listening in, we're not going to mention names, but I'm going to say that you need to know they are going to be in your life. So believe that, okay?
Right, that's awesome.
Okay, good. Did you have another question, honey?
No.
What was it? Okay. Well, I will talk to you soon. Have a fabulous night, okay? Thanks so much for calling in. Bye-bye.
Sure. Bye.
Okay, I believe we have somebody else on the line, but we're going to take a quick break. Pardon my looking over my shoulder. It's like there's no screen in front that shows the people. We'll be right back with the Halley Elise Show.
Bob, did you see Halley Elise in the paper?
Who?
The empowerment psychic, Halley Elise. They did a 2-page write-up. The columnist was enthralled. Halley went right to an issue that she was dealing with. I'm looking at HalleyElise.com right now.
What are you thinking? Should we schedule an appointment?
Matter of fact, yes. You have issues with Sue and me, my business. Take a look at her background. It's impressive, and she has decades of experience.
I want to put it on my iPad. What's her info?
Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise. HalleyElise.com. 561-755-2166.
Spell it.
HalleyElise.com.
So it's HalleyElise.com and 561-755-2166, right?
561-755-2166. That's it.
You're listening to Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise, and she invites you to visit her website for more information about all that she does at HalleyElise.com. Now, back to your host, Empowerment Psychic Halley Elise.
Welcome back to the Halley Elise Show. This evening is this third Monday of the month. I still want to say Sunday for some reason. I think I'm still stuck on the weekend, but the third Monday of the month. So we do Psychic Monday here at this station. That means you have the opportunity to call in and get a reading for free. We just had a couple of calls from California, which is, I think, is interesting. You never know where people are coming from. I look at the stats sometimes on the website, and it's amazing, from Austria and Australia and from China and Japan and just all over the place. So it's kind of fun because oftentimes I'll get notes from people that have watched the show. And there was one gentleman who was from Germany, and he had sent me this great note about he and his wife, that they get together and they watch the show with a group of friends every week. I thought that was pretty cool. They have like dinner together, they watch the show. Not too shabby. Anyways, we have 2 callers on the line, so I think we will go with Marie first because I believe she called in. So, Marie, are you there?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Hallie. How are you?
Very good. So, did you have a specific question this evening?
Well, yes, I did, but I also wanted to let you know that I heard about you at the Renaissance Festival. You have this crazy redhead that was working out in front of your booth with horns on, and she danced with me, and that's how I found out about you.
Oh, that's too funny, yes. That's my lovely friend and assistant, Tracy. She shows up at my psychic galleries, too, to help out, and she is at the Renaissance Festival with me, and entertaining and delightful.
We did have fun.
Oh, good. So,
well, I'll tell you, I feel kind of funny asking this on the air, but I figured I'd take the opportunity, seeing as I travel so much and can't get to see you in person.
Okay.
I have these two men that I like, and I've been dating them both. And then, as it turns out, they know each other.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is no. And, I can solve the problem of which one I might be with, so I simply just keep them with them, but I feel kind of funny doing that, seeing that they know each other.
Well, there's always a third option, which is tell them both goodbye. Because I have to tell you, the feeling...
But I'm thinking, well, they both have so many traits, and I think maybe I should just say goodbye to both of them and find the one that has all of them together that I like.
Right. Well, I was just going to say, it feels like to me one of them has it together as far as financially, but it's kind of cheap. I shouldn't say that, but that's the feeling that they're kind of cheap. When they go out to dinner, even though there's money there, it's kind of like, well, why would you order that? And who the heck wants to sit down and have a meal like that? And then the other one feels like when you're in their company, they're great, but when you're not, they're not available. It's almost, for instance, you can call and say, hey, how are you? And not hear back from them for a week. And again, that's not such a great thing either. But I can tell you, if you have a little patience, I get the feeling, believe it or not, before the end of July, that there is somebody who's amazing who's coming into your world. And what's really funny is I feel like they show up to help you in your business specifically, and yet you two hit it off. And I feel as if they had just gotten out of a relationship. So when you first look at them, you're like, no, I don't want to do that. It's that rebound. Remember this conversation, because what I'm getting is this is a really nice person, and they were in a bad relationship for a long time. So don't think of it as rebound, but you'll notice, like I said, they come into your role to help you with your business. And it's interesting because it feels like it has to do with politics. It has to do in a big part of where you're headed or connected to.
Wow, you were right on target there. That's kind of scary.
Well, thank you, I guess. But don't be scared. But all kidding aside, if you want to hang with these other guys for a little bit, that's fine, But I always suggest being honest. If at all possible, be honest. Hey, I'm just dating, and you may actually know one of the guys I'm dating, if that's where you want to be. But if you don't, walk away.
It was like they found out.
Gotcha.
Oh man, it's kind of like they show up where the other one is.
Oh, that's not.
No, and I was very upfront saying I'm dating. I'm not,
Right.
not ready to go to the next level yet.
Yeah, but honestly,
sometimes
you don't need to be sitting out at dinner with one and having the other one show up, or at somebody's house because they know each other and the other one shows up. That's not too good. So let me make a suggestion, and always say to anybody I deal with, it's ultimately up to you. You have the right of choice, but the overall impression is, walk away from these two. Be open to this other person coming in before the end of summer is even here, and you're going to be so much more happy. Okay?
This is someone I haven't met yet?
This is someone you have not met, and I'm truly, I'm going to say positive, not maybe, but positive, that this person is somehow connected to your business. So this is going to be really interesting, and you'll have to get back to me and let me know how it works out.
Oh, I am. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Have a great night. Thank you so much for calling in. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I believe we have Rebecca on the line. Are you still there, Rebecca?
I am. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm good. I don't really have a question per se, but I've just recently lost my father-in-law, and I lost my dad a few years ago. And I just always carry around the heavy feeling of, is he around? We had such a bond, and people tell me that I'm a little in tune to those in the afterlife a little bit, but I don't feel it. And I was just wondering what you thought, what you could tell me.
To me, there's a sense of connecting with nature more than, I'll call it awareness of the afterlife, not understanding that all things are connected. And what I'm getting here, I would say within 2 days of your dad's passing, there was some sort of occurrence with little animals showing up, either like sitting on your car or on the doorstep, but where they sat there for an unusual period of time, meaning, lots of times
Bird.
It was a bird, okay.
I heard a bird. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I get little chills. I get chills when I get like major confirmation.
I always wondered, is it just me
Nope.
wanting it to be here?
Nope, not just you, but this is where your connection is, meaning if you were, I'll say, more comfortable with seeing beyond that, seeing more, and it takes a little practice because it is a little scary sometimes to open yourself up to that, but if you were more comfortable, then you would start seeing more things. But for now, there is that physical interaction. So, for instance, if you think about your dad, watch what happens with nature around you. And I don't mean within the house, I mean outside. Where there seems to be, for instance, a lizard who lingers, and you think they should move away as you're walking, and yet they just like look at you. Those are messages literally from the other side saying your dad is with you. So if you start acknowledging them and think, wow, that's a message that Dad's here, you'll start actually feeling him around you. And that's going to be an amazing feeling for you.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I live in Boca Raton, and I have been dying to get over to meet you and to your groups and your galleries, and they sound so amazing. And every time I try to go, something comes up, or I can't go, I get sick. But
well, hopefully you'll join us.
To finally talk to you.
Hopefully you'll be able to join us like the first Monday of the month. I think it's May 4th, maybe. I'm so bad at the calendar. Thank God I've got somebody who puts it on the website for me. I just kind of show up. But you're always welcome, too, to just swing by the office. As long as I'm not with clients, I'm happy to have a conversation. But I'm glad that you called in because really you do have a connection. It's just a matter of how it's showing up. I think in your mind you had this idea that, well, I'm supposed to see, like a silhouette, or there's supposed to be a chill, or there's supposed to be something that's like really significant that stands out, that shows you that the presence is there. Well, there is. Right. It's just showing up in a different way than you expected.
You're right. Well, I'll try to be more in tune to that. That's amazing.
Okay.
And for you to solidify the bird, I did hear the bird, and I thought he was around for a little bit, and then he just wasn't anymore. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, that's him. But
it was a message just to say everything's okay. Understand too, different animals. If you take a look at oh my gosh, I can't think of the first name, but last name of the author is Andrews, and the name of the book is Animal Speaks. It talks about totems, about how certain animals show up in our life to deliver different messages. You can even, believe it or not, look online, look up either mind language or look up even dream language and type in bird or type in lizard or whatever animal shows up. It'll give you an indicator as to the type of message that's being delivered.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a great way to connect so that you can feel more comfortable. And even if you don't look at any of that, just stop for a minute and ask yourself, what does that represent? Like when you see a bird, how does that make you feel? If you see a puppy, how does that make you feel? What sort of emotion comes up? Because that has to do with the message. So, for instance, birds in general are very family-minded. They have to do with support. A dog specifically has to do with the individual and being loyal. A kitty has to do with being independent. You see where I'm going here?
Yes.
So you can say, well, I was having a really bad day and I was waiting on somebody and I was, relying on them to help me out and they didn't show up. And then all of a sudden there's a cat sitting there who will not leave. That kitty's saying, be independent, stand in your own power. You don't have to be around the other people. Make sense?
That is amazing. Yes.
Okay. So you have something to work with. It's just more awareness.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I hope we can meet in person soon.
I hope we do too soon.
Have a great night.
Thank you for this. You too.
All righty. Bye-bye. Do we have another caller? We do. I can't read the name. I think it's Lynn. Is that correct? Okay. Kenny's like showing me this big clipboard. There's glare from the window. Lynn, are you there?
I am. Hi, Halley.
Hi, it's my Lynn. Well, one of my Lyns.
How are you?
I'm good, honey. How about you?
Good.
Good.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to see if you've got anything.
You just like to get felt out. I understand.
Like to get what?
Felt out. Energetically, I mean. Not to be confused with the other one that starts with felt and ends with, a P, a word that starts. Never mind. We're not going there. Not being goofy. Lynn's going to hang up the phone now.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to get serious here. When you were at the last gallery, I know I said something. I don't recall exactly what it was, but I remember I had said something, and it took you aback because it was something that you hadn't expected, or it wasn't within, I'll say, the purview of where you thought you were going. And yet, when you shared with me your most recent experience after doing some energy work, I had to laugh because it was right on target. Oh my gosh, our time is gone. I just want to say, keep doing what you're doing, because what you experienced this past week is just the beginning of how a door opens for you. Okay?
Oh, cool. All right, thank you.
All right, honey. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Thanks, everyone, for calling in this evening. Have a beautiful night, and we shall see you next week. Bye-bye.
Be enchanted and delighted. Connect each week here on WNN for the Halley Elise Show. Also on Facebook and at HalleyElise.com. Thanks for tuning in.